Magpul B.A.D lever, battery assist device. I really enjoy the way this thing just helps your battery of arms. Even if my gun isn't locking back today. Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Today I'm going to discuss how you can make a gun that is not Ambi with aftermarket parts, including an Ambi charging handle, the Magpul B.A.D lever or battery assist device, and an Ambi safety. And that basically takes care of the three parts of an Ambi AR, an Ambi Lower. Obviously, you saw from the intro, I was having a little bit of an issue with the bolt locking back on the last round on my PSA AR pistol today. So I'm gonna have to do a little work to find out why that is, because it's running reliably, except for that. But anyway, it made for some funny entertainment throughout the whole video, so you'll get to see that. But I'd like to thank every one of you guys that subscribe to the channel, that likes, that comments on these videos. And yeah, I just really appreciate you guys. Keep it coming. So we seem to be having an issue with this AR pistol not locking the bolt back on the last round today. I'm gonna have to do a little work to figure out why, but still a good demonstration of the B.A.D lever because I can lock it back, drop the mag, and reload much faster than I'd be able to without it. Sometimes you just have to overcome difficulties with your weapon. There are a lot of high-end AR-15s on the market these days that come fully Ambi, or at least partially Ambi, meaning ambidextrous. And it has to do with the lower and also the charging handle. And generally what it means is that you're going to have your bolt catch, bolt release, commonly known as the ping pong paddle. Normally that's on the left side of your gun, but with an Ambi Lower, you're also going to have one on the right side. Also, your safety lever is on the left side here. On an Ambi AR, it'll be on the right side, which is not on this one. This is a standard lower. Then also, most ARs come with your standard mil-spec charging handle. This Radian here, this is an Ambi charging handle. And so those are the three things that make up an Ambi AR-15. Now, if you're getting into ARs and you're not going to spend thousands of dollars on your first upper, lower, or full rifle, then you're probably going to get a standard lower like this one, which is not Ambi. But there are very easy ways to make it ambidextrous, and there's good reasons to do that. The first thing to me that is the most important to be Ambi is the charging handle. Now, it's not necessary to be ambidextrous, but if you see this charging handle, this is your mil-spec one, you only have a latch on the left side. Now that's fine, but it's very small, kind of hard to grip on and actuate, where an Ambi charging handle, you can pull it from either side and it'll open up that latch. Now, I still generally pull my charging handle from the left side 90% of the time, but it is nice to be able to get it from this side if you need to. Or, obviously, if you're left-handed. Now, I am left-handed, but I shoot right-handed. Besides that, it's just nice to have a charging handle that's bigger and easier to grab onto. So, first thing you can do to make your AR Ambi is to change out the charging handle. And that's probably the easiest thing to do as well. I made a video about this Gray Badger Arms charging handle. Don't be tempted. I know it looks like a Radian Raptor, but the quality is just not there. If you're gonna do it, go with the brand name, get the Radian. It is just gonna last a lot longer. If you haven't seen my video about this, it broke, and also the pins walk out all the time. So I had a lot of difficulties with it. So I recommend the Radian Raptor or any number of higher end brand name ambidextrous charging handles. Now the second thing you can do to make your AR ambi is to put an ambi safety selector. Now this one does not have an ambidextrous safety selector. This has your standard 90-degree throw safety selector in it. And in fact, it's the stock safety selector that came in this rifle. Feels great to me. It works great. I shoot right-handed, so I don't feel like I need a safety selector on the left-hand side. But I do have one on this one. And the way how that happened is I installed the Fostech Echo trigger in here, and it comes with a proprietary safety lever. Now you can see it's got your standard lever on the left side and also one on the right. But this is the thing to consider if you're gonna put an ambi safety in your gun. If you shoot right-handed like I do, if you notice here, this safety lever, if it's as long as the one on the left side, it's gonna hit your finger, whether you have your finger up here or even when you're on the trigger. Lucky for me, the one that came with the Fostech Echo trigger, it's shorter on the right side than it is on the left side. There's your full-size safety lever. Here's your shorter one. And that just makes a big difference so that when you're on the gun, that's not getting in the way of your trigger finger. Believe me, if you shoot right-handed, you want to do that. Now, if you shoot left-handed, which is a good reason to get an ambi safety selector, I know there are companies that make them where you can get the left side one shorter, or where you could just switch them. You know, you can put this side on here and this side on there. So that might be the way to go for you. Again, I have to admit, as a right-handed shooter, I rarely use the left or the right side safety selector. So having my rifle, my pistol actually, not locking back on the last round today is actually really good practice for clearing malfunctions. You know, if you have a round that doesn't fire, you're gonna have to pull that charging handle back, drop the mag, you know, slam a new one in, whatever you're gonna have to do to make it work. That's the case that we're in right now. So let's just go with it. I guess I forgot which drill I was doing that time. Let's try that one again. I could use some practice just like anyone else. Now, of the three parts that I talked about to make your gun ambi, that being the ambi extended charging handle, the ambi safety selector, and the Magpul B.A.D lever. The B.A.D lever to me is maybe the most important one if you're a right-handed shooter. To me, it doesn't make it, in fact, I'm not even sure how I would see how a left-handed shooter would use it really, except for if they're gonna use this hand to, you know, manipulate your bolt, just like right-handed shooters have to do on a normal lower. What I like about it, there's a lot of reasons. So, say your magazine isn't in the gun, or say you have a malfunction. Now, in order to clear that malfunction, you're gonna wanna drop your magazine and lock your bolt to the rear. Now, normally to do that, you're gonna have to hold it on this side and pull your charging handle back like that in order to do it. And it's just kind of cumbersome. So one of the greatest things about the B.A.D lever is for clearing malfunctions. All you need to do is push it up with your trigger finger, pull your charging handle back, and you're going to be able to lock your bolt back that easily. Also, to drop your bolt home, just sweep down on it with your trigger finger. The great thing about that is, to me, is for reloads, and I've demonstrated that a bit in this video. Now, I did have an issue with the bolt not locking back on the last round today. I haven't diagnosed why yet. I just got back from the range and decided to start filming this video. But I'm going to have to work on that. Anyway, the nice thing about it though, say I'm going to grab another magazine and demonstrate. So at the range today, I had to do a weird little thing where after the last round, I still had to rack my charging handle back, then drop the mag, then load the new one, then drop the bolt. But generally, as long as everything is working correctly with your firearm, your bolt's going to lock back on the last round, drop your magazine, new magazine goes in, drop your bolt with your trigger finger. This hand that put your magazine in goes straight back forward, and your finger goes right back to the trigger. And so it can make for much faster, more effective reloads. And that's what I like about it. The difference being, instead of dropping your mag, new mag, and then using your left hand here to hit your bolt closed, and then going back and back to the trigger, I know that doesn't take long, but believe me, this is quicker. That fast, you can literally slam your bolt home a millisecond after putting that new magazine in. And it's just something I've gotten used to. I've gotten a little spoiled with it. There are things about the B.A.D lever that people don't like. One being that you get used to a certain battery of arms, and so if you do have to run another AR-15, you need to remember that you don't have that B.A.D lever, and you're still going to have to use your left hand to lock your bolt back or to drop it home. For two, a lot of people talk about that you're violating one of the gun safety rules by having your finger in the trigger guard when you're not firing the gun. Now, to an extent, I disagree with this. I have had B.A.D levers on both of these ARs for a long time, and I've never once had a negligent discharge where my finger slipped off this and went to the trigger, because they're two different manipulations. If you just sweep down on this, or even if you push on it, it would be really hard to, I could see how it could happen, but it's never happened to me in all my rounds fired on either of these weapons. So as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, that's not going to happen. You just need to practice, train, and you're going to get used to it. But it does make it quicker, and it just makes it really nice to be able to manipulate your gun one-handed. I really enjoy it, and I believe most of you will too. Just about everyone I know that has gotten a B.A.D lever has been very happy with it. There are some other companies that make similar products, but the B.A.D lever is definitely the most well-known. It's made by Magpul, and you can see here, it just attaches to your ping pong paddle with one screw. It's got a backer plate on the back of it, comes through your trigger guard, and it's right over there. And that's, it's just really easy to manipulate your gun with it. Hold the bolt back by pushing up, drop it by pushing forward, and you're back on the trigger. I love the thing. And I honestly don't see anything wrong with it. Last two rounds, let's see if we can get it right this time. And that's all, folks. Thank you for watching another episode of Sawtooth Tactical. I made my case for the Magpul B.A.D lever today. I think it's a very worthwhile piece of equipment. Also, extended ambidextrous charging handle. I'm going to put a link to my video about the Radian Raptor-LT and why to choose that over a no-name knockoff. I'm also going to put a link to my Patreon down below. If you click on that, if you want to support the channel, Any amount helps and is greatly appreciated. Also, we'll have a link down below for the Amazon affiliate account, and you can link to some AR-15 goodies down there, but really anything you buy after you've clicked that link gives us a little kickback. Hugely appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to beat the YouTube algorithm as best we can. Comments help that, likes help that, sharing this video helps that. So help me out. Love you guys. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.